All right, so I got asked this question about picking colors and uh, and just coloring in general. And I don't consider myself a an expert on it, or I don't even consider myself that good when it comes to colors. But I seem to make it through when I do a drawing. And since some people were curious about the process and maybe the thought behind it, kind of got me thinking. Um, because in my head, if I was trying to explain it, I couldn't really do it. Because for me, it's like natural, just pick colors and I apply them, and it eventually just starts working near the end of the drawing, whenever that happens in it. But I want to try and just, I guess, figure it out while I'm doing it. So I done myself the favor of making a sketch and doing a mask underneath, and just trying. Now I do have a reference of the character who I drew like a while back, and I won't be using the exact same colors as the drawing, but I I know what area of color I wanted in, and this is also like an important thing still, like bringing in reference and that. Again, it's something I recommend like anyone doing really. It's just like look at fashion images or whatever, like just look at whatever artist you like, and or like whatever artist that kind of fits your own description on that, and study their work. Just pick their colors, see what kind of colors they are, because when it comes to this like color picking in itself, like when you pick the colors you get to see like what kind of range they're in, how light do we go, and so on in it, like, you know I think normally when I do colors I tend to stay within like this middle area here. I don't want to go too saturated, I don't want to go too dark or too light. That's always something I can do later on. Like I'm kind of mild with a lot of the stuff that I do, um because then I can always like push it later. I know other artists like to go really far and then push it back, but for me personally, I have a harder time doing that. So I start out with some more neutral colors here. So I have a mask. I kind of made it light because in terms of the style, it's you don't usually paint that dark with these 2D characters. Usually very light and visible and that. So um, I would just start picking some colors. Again, I would usually go around this area to start with. It depends on the hue as well. With the red, I might go more over here or like darker, but not too much in this area because I like the red to be more saturated. It all really depends. Like just hovering a mouse over. I guess a lot of other people would have this, but no matter what, you get to see which kind of colors do you like. Oh, this looks too strong. This looks too dark. And you just kind of have to look for a balance. And again, it's just kind of trying it out. Like let's just apply like a skin tone here, and like look at that. It for me, this is this not that it is, but it could be like too dark. Um, but sometimes it's hard to know until you've seen the relation with other colors. So with this, like it's not really too dark. I could go lighter if I wanted to, but I think this is like fine for now because I'll just probably end up making all the other colors like a bit darker. So again, trying to stay somewhat neutral, is not very saturated. Like if I were more saturated, it'd be like this, which you can do. Like it's definitely possible, but for me it's a bit too strong. I go more saturated with it later on. Let's just like put some white in the eyes for now. I want to try and do her hair, so we want to go for some kind of teal, and I probably don't want it to be too saturated because it might distract from like everything. I think when it also comes to color combinations and that, you want to kind of think of design and try to lead the eye with the colors. So you wanna, trying to have that focal point with colors as well. Now this is kind of what I like. So you start off with something like more neutrals, not too dark, not too bright, not even too saturated. It's a little bit desaturated, and it's also not green enough. I want it to be more green like that, more like turquoise almost. So let's try. This is getting a little bit better. Yeah. All right. Let's try not the shirt here. And I want to go for that blue, but a little bit darker. By the way, this is I would anyone who uses Photoshop I would recommend like just getting cooler. It's a nice nifty tool. Definitely makes your workflow faster. Here we got shirt. Could be a bit too dark on like just not a color that I like. I think getting a bit warmer, a bit lighter, gets it closer to the other color so it doesn't become too distracting. But just like I don't want it to be too distracting. Not yet. Right now everything is just quite muted, but I will later probably bump up the saturation. Now for the trousers, I think I want to try and go for something brown for this. So I'll just quickly, like when it comes to applying quick stuff, usually I'm testing, I don't really do very clean shit. I'm just doing rough sketches a lot of times. So okay, that brown might be a little too, like you can always go with this, but for me it's just like personal preference at the end of the day. So I'm just adjusting it a bit here. Maybe I wanted a bit more yellow, maybe a slight orange tint to it. Let's see if we can bump it up slightly. There we go. That's more like it. See, just slight adjustments. Like it was getting there, I could see it, but I need to change the hue a bit so it became more orange. Need to change the saturation. It's hard to like figure that out when I first try it. Like even now I might want to change the skin tones a little bit to maybe slightly more saturated. Slightly, and maybe a little lighter. A little bit lighter. Okay. So you see before, like when you can like flip through it, like undo and redo, and see the difference. Before this, like it looks almost zombie-ish and that. So bring a little bit more life to it. She looks more alive now, just because I added some like, if you look at what the colors were before, like up here, and what it is now, slight changes. So like just these slight adjustments can really do the trick. And like that's why it's like it's really about finding a sweet spot, because there'll be so many times where you will not know, like trying to figure out what the hell oh, there we go. Like it's really about finding the sweet spot and like just adjusting. You like you get close, but you won't fully get there yet until you've like messed around with things. Because I also think like I'll be ending up changing the shirt color as well. I'm not too happy with that either. With a black, I usually, I'll never go full on black, obviously. This could be brighter and less warm, and maybe slightly more cold. Yeah, maybe we can go with that for now. And I don't know, the shoes are fine. I'll just add a little bit of red. I like adding red next to white. I just think it looks cool. Again, just try to think. The more you try, the more you figure out like what's cool or not. I just find not too distracting right now. Here it looks like there's some interest. Let me change the shirt. Let's try and mess around with how saturated that we can make it. Oh, the blue here looks, I think the warm hair just doesn't play well with the hair, so getting it more in this cooler I guess that'll be closer to this drawing, actually slightly desaturated there. So again, small adjustments, like you might not notice it now, but like again, these these slight things kind of do the difference. I know I wanted to like have a little cat type emblem on here or something in red, so we'll do that. I don't know, don't really look like a cat, but fuck it. Again, with the red, I go a little bit more saturated. In this case, I probably want a bit more darker, a little bit more on the purplish side to get closer to the blue. I don't want like two contrasting things. That looks alright, I think. That looks alright, I think. Again, I'm really not an expert on this. You get me? I just try. And with the socks, so they don't like got the same color as the shoes. Let's lighten them up. That doesn't work well with the white background, so something like that. Yeah, maybe not the best one for the socks, but it's okay. We can do a little inversion here, something like that. Small little color. Right now here there's most action, so right now the feet are kind of like distracting, but this is why we'll play in with her accessories and make those pop a bit more. I think what worked well here was that I had this very like pastel, red, pink, whatever, next to this white helmet that really like create a contrast. Because when you're up here, like it's very it gets desaturated when it's lighter and more saturated when it's darker on that. Usually that's with colors on that. So having like a saturated color next to like a light color really does a lot. Okay, and cannot forget her blue lipstick. Oh, and I was like, yeah, I think that's like the blue I kind of want. Sometimes you get lucky now. You get that just with experience, but I think I don't really like a lot of blues either. So like maybe up here some of my more favorite blues. This one right here. So yeah, let's see. I think I like the previous one. Yeah. Okay, so we got something here. As flat collars, that I wouldn't say they're that strong. So we can probably try and make him a bit more interesting. So I'm gonna go into curves a little bit and just play a little with how light and dark and saturated these are. So just like really play with the curves of these things. See, so we made some stuff a little bit more darker. If we turn this, see now the more saturated it gets, just like that was a little too much. But I don't even like that much of the saturation. So let's go a bit darker. And I think I realized I do not like this blue shirt. It sucks. Again, blues are really difficult in my opinion. I don't do them that well. Okay. Let's do a pattern to our trousers. I'm just gonna do these stripes. It's not gonna look very good, but we'll just try and think so. Which is again, that's what I encourage. Like a lot of times I spend like a long time trying to figure out patterns, and let's go back into curves because I always like using that. Oh, that was an accident. That was a bit too much. No, I do not like that. What if I just do lines instead, and we'll just desaturate and make it a bit lighter. Yeah, I'm somewhat okay with that. Oh yeah, and let's just, to make the face more interesting, we'll just add a little bit of like warmness to her nose and her ears. Definitely brings more attention to the face now. Do we want to make the skin slightly brighter? A little bit. Yeah, because all the clothes are a bit darker, like having the more pale skin. I think that's why I get make her skin very pale here. Just so as like a value, it would like stand out more. You can see how like light the skin is compared to the hair. Where here we can probably make the hair a bit darker, maybe even, or just again make the skin lighter. Either or really. So. Yeah, definitely make it darker, brings more attention to the face, because then it works like a frame. That's the anything we could do with this black here. Make it more dark. Oh wait, I'm messing around with the hair as well. God damn it, man. Remember to deselect you lot. Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, so in case you don't want to do shadow, I mean, I like doing shadows. I feel that's the thing that just takes it a step further in it. I will just select whatever I want stuff to be in shadow. If you don't know where your shadow will be, again, use your own face as reference. Just think of a light source. I always have this like generic one in mind where it's always just coming a bit from above. Get me, the sun is above us most of the time, so there's not as much like shining in our face and that. I usually do a little here, but it can be quite unnecessary sometimes, and I end up just needing to delete it. Let's do one under the nose as well. Because you really get to like define the shapes more when you have these shadows on that. Some shadows, I swear to God, they're just a bit bullshit and are not needed to be there, but it's whatever. Okay, so I have my selection. It's still there, obviously. Again, press Control to go into curves, and then the magic kind of happens. You see here it's a bit too dark for my liking, so the dark values are over here, so I'll push them up a little bit. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, there's too many points now, so let's just take it back to normal for a bit. So we make the lights a bit darker, and with the shadow here also helps frame the face. There you go. You don't have to do like all the shadows at once. Like maybe I'll do some parts first, and then I'll do the trousers afterwards. Just get this hand right. Yeah, the drawing is pretty flawed, but it's okay. Yeah. So they kind of go. Me personally, I don't like the flipping shirt. I think the shirt can be quite distracting, so maybe like going with a whole different color. Again, that's something you can always experiment with just quickly. Oh, the yellow is like, oh, raw, look at that. The yellow's pretty cool. Then we have a problem with the red. Then I'll probably make the red like less intense. So we would like maybe not that much, but yeah, something like that. I actually like the yellow. I think it looks sick, and also works as a big contrast. We have all the warm underneath, and then the blue hair for the cool. And these are like some of the discoveries you learn along the way. Like, I mean, I could try and just straight up pick this blue and see how that looks. The saturated blue also helps. So like in this case, I could have gone more saturated with the blue maybe. So yeah, there'll be some stuff that you struggle with, but I feel like everything else works fine. I actually do like the yellow. I think I'm gonna keep that for this drawing. But again, while you see me applying these things, you can look at the colors and pick at a color wheel. And with this process, again, usually start off with something more mild, and then I can take it a bit further. So it's like picking a safe, boring base and then pushing the elements a bit further. That's my way of doing it. Is it the most efficient way? Not really. One day I'll be better at learning uh the right colors and that. And it all just comes with experience. Um yeah, when it comes to skin tones, like try not to go too saturated. I see people that really like fucking out here with this kind of shit. And you can do that, but I wouldn't recommend it. It all depends on again the stylistic elements of things and that. Um, you know, it's like if you're confused whether or not like a skin tone really works for you, because again stuff like this I would probably not go for. Like these three here make more sense to me. And you can always go more desaturated if you want to. Again, when it comes to like, especially the reds are really difficult. I would probably dial it back to like here maybe. But like, if you're ever confused, just draw like a weird emoji face on it and see does it look okay? Because this one here I would definitely say is a no-no. Same with this one here. I would also be like, again, it all depends on the situation, obviously. But like, you know, try it out. That's all I can really say. Like, even this is a bit I don't know. It gives different vibe. This guy could be like sick. He would be like having the sniffles and that, and I don't know what that looks like, but because I'm always healthy. But yeah, again just fucking try it out. It's colors difficult if you don't allow yourself to fail, you know, and if you don't allow yourself to change up the colors as well. And try and out, you know, what would it look like if it's more saturated. Like I could probably put it up there, yeah. You know, small things can make a lot of difference. So try out easy, and then like explore, and you'll get there. All right, thank you for watching, and have fun drawing.